Alrighty guys, we're back for some ETB artifacts, and this is a March of the Machine, the Aftermath Standard Brew. We're going to go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Red Cat, and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to ya. Also, we do got that Discord link as well as that relatively new Patreon link down in the description if you're interested in joining either of those up. Speaking of that Patreon, guys, this was a patron suggestion, so thank you so much for the suggestion. It's definitely going to be a fun one because we're rocking Nahiri's Resolve here. The 5-mana enchantment. Creatures you control get +1/+0 and have haste, which is crazy. At the beginning of your end step, exile any number of non-token artifacts and or creatures you control. Return those cards to the battlefield under their owner's control at the beginning of your next end step. So this is going to work really well with all of our ETB creatures like Malcator Purity Overseer. It's a 3-mana 1/1 legendary creature. And when the Purity Overseer enters the battlefield, you create a 3/3 colorless Phyrexian Golem artifact creature token. Nice. At the beginning of your end step, if 3 or more artifacts entered the battlefield under your control this turn, you create a 3/3 colorless Phyrexian Golem artifact creature token. So that could actually happen in this deck because we're sending a lot into exile and bringing it back with the resolve anyways. Then we also have just plenty of other ways to get multiple artifacts onto the board on the same turn, like Thran Spider being 2 already, right? So all 4 Thran Spiders making the cut. 3-mana 2/4 with reach, not half battle ready, and when it enters the battlefield, you and target opponent create a tapped Power Stone token. Hopefully those Power Stone tokens go a little bit further in our deck than it does for the opponent, right? Also, a bottom ability here that might actually come into play. So for 7 mana, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact card from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Not bad, guys. It really, really isn't. Also, something else here on the top end, we have Dollhouse of Horrors to work well with the ETB cards. So it is a 5-mana artifact, and for 1 mana, you can tap this, exile a creature card in your graveyard. This is not a reanimator deck by any means. In this scenario, we're just relying on our opponents killing our creatures, which is definitely going to happen anyways. But yeah, anyways, exile a creature card from your graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of the exiled card, except it's a 0/0 construct artifact in addition to its other types. And it has, this creature gets +1/+1 for each construct you control. It gains haste until end of turn, activate only as a sorcery. So that could be a really cool way to just get even more ETBs back from the grave. Like bringing that Thran Spider back as a token construct is actually pretty cool because you'll get that Power Stone token as well. But then also to work with all this token generation from the Spider, the Malcator, the Dollhouse, we have a couple Mondraks in here too. There's a lot packed into this build, guys. So buckle up. We're going on a roller coaster ride while going through this deck, huh? So Mondrak is a 4-mana 4/4 legendary creature. If 1 or more tokens would be created under your control, twice that many of those tokens are created instead. That could be insane, dude. So if you have like Malcator and Mondrak on the board and you play a Thran Spider, well, you're getting 2 Power Stone tokens from the Thran Spider. So that's actually 3 artifacts for that bottom ability on the Purity Overseer, which means you'll get that Golem, but since you have Mondrak on the board, you'll get a couple Golems instead. So yeah, it could be as simple as dropping Thran Spider while Mondrak's on the board. So that's pretty cool, huh? Working really well with the Dollhouse of Horrors, we're trying out the Cephalopod Sentry, which is a 4-mana. Its power is equal to the number of artifacts you control, which honestly could be pretty high. It has flying and its toughness is 5 as well, which is pretty good toughness, man. It's a Phyrexian squid, which is really freaking cool. So what could end up happening too is if this ends up dying, well, first of all, it's an artifact creature, so you can use like the Power Stones to cast it out too. So maybe playing it for all 4 mana isn't something you might do. Maybe you actually use your Power Stones instead. Maybe it's just a 2-mana beast of a flying card, right? Anyways, yeah, bringing this back with Dollhouse of Horrors is sick because it gains haste and everything. And then it'll be like powerful because Dollhouse of Horrors is an artifact too, and you probably have a whole bunch of other artifacts. So yeah, we actually have other ways to give the Sentry haste, and this is one of our main ways to close out the game. as well. Well, obviously, like Nahiri's Resolve gives haste to our creatures, but a couple rabbit batteries here at the front of the build. 1 mana, 1/1 with haste. Equipped creature has +1/+1 and has haste. Reconfigure for 1 red. Actually, just wanted more 1-drop artifacts to play, because it could also be. See, I'm looking at that bottom ability on the Malcator a little bit more than I probably should be, right? But it's very possible, again, maybe you have your Thran Spider play, but you don't have the Mondrak on the board, and then you can still play like your Rabbit Battery for the turn if you had the 4 mana open. Well, that's 3 artifacts as well, and then you'll get that Golem too. So, yeah, I don't know. I just wanted more 1-drop artifacts. Speaking of 1-drop artifacts, we do have an Eater of Virtue in here, doing a thing every now and then. It could be pretty decent to put on to like the Cephalopod that has flying and stuff, put on the Rabbit Battery that has haste. When equipped creature dies, you exile it. So that's when it gets the other abilities of flying and whatnot. It's flying, first strike, double strike, death touch, haste, hexproof, indestructible, lifelink, menace, protection, reach, trample, and vigilance. So I could also get the reach on Thran Spider and stuff too. That could be interesting. Mainly in here though as a 1-drop artifact. That's why. Same concept with Skrelv, although we do have a lot of creatures that we don't mind protecting with the Skrelv. So maybe this should be a 2 of, huh? Got a Progenitor Exarch here. I have no idea if I pronounced any of that right. So it's a double X in white for the casting cost. It's a 1/2. When it enters the battlefield, you incubate 3 X times. So at 3 mana, you incubate 3 once. At 5 mana for this card, you incubate 3 twice, which could be pretty decent, man. And those incubator tokens count as artifacts for the Malcator, and they obviously count as artifacts to buff the Sentry as well. So now you could tap this, transform target incubator token you control. Also, the incubator tokens, they have that 2 mana, then transform this artifact, which we could use our Power Stones to activate. And let's just take a note here that those incubator tokens have +1/+1 counters. I'll go over that in just a second as to why that's important. We have 4 Norn's Inquisitors. This is a 2 mana 1/1, and when it ETBs, you incubate 2. Nice. So that's just a generic ETB, so we can actually blink this quite successfully to get more incubator tokens. And then obviously all the incubator tokens are doubled if you have the Mondrak on the board. My goodness, huh? Whenever a permanent you control transforms into a Phyrexian, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Nice. Having multiple Norn's Inquisitors down has proven in the past to be very powerful as you power up those incubator tokens with all those extra counters. Got more ways to blink our creatures outside of the Nahiri's Resolve. It's Planar Incision. It's a 2 mana instant speed. Exile target artifact or creature, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on it. Nice. Not bad at all, guys. Okay, leaning into the top end here, we have a Saheeli, just one of. So for 2 and some Izzet colors, 4 mana total, it's a 3 loyalty planeswalker with a +1 where you scry 1. You may tap an untapped artifact you control. If you do, draw a card. That'll be pretty easy in here probably, right? You could tap down one of the incubators from the Inquisitor or a Power Stone from the Thran Spider, right? It's got a -2 where you create 2 1/1 colorless Thopter artifact creature tokens with flying. They gain haste until end of turn. And of course, again, more token generation, man. So if you got that Mondrak on the board, you're actually creating 4 Thopters with that -2. Again, activating that Purity Overseer's bottom ability. And if you had that Mondrak, then yeah, you get 2 of those golems. So lots of ways to just spam artifacts onto the board, which is sick. Got a -4 here. You get an emblem with artifact creatures you control, get +1/+1, and artifact spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, which could be good. We have an Elesh Norn as well. For 5 mana, it's a 4/7. It has Vigilance. Of course, it's a legendary creature. A permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger. That ability triggers an additional time. Permanents entering the battlefield don't cause abilities of permanents your opponents control to trigger. Pretty powerful card, guys. It's just the fact that it's 5 mana is why we don't see it too often. More stuff on the top end, which I guess we should do some rearranging, huh? We got a Steel Seraph with Prototype for a double white and 1. And we also have a Combat Thresher with Prototype for 2 and 1 white. So I guess we'll go over these real quick. You guys know Steel Seraph at this point, but it does have flying as well, so that works with Eater of Virtue. But then giving lifelink to something is usually the first thing you go to because of all the aggro decks floating about. So giving lifelink is very important. As for the Combat Thresher, I'll tell you what, for 3 mana, a 1/1 double strike that when it ETBs you draw a card is actually just pretty decent. And since these are both prototype cards, we can kind of cheat out the bigger version of them with like our Planar Incision or our Nahiri's Resolve as well. And when you cheat out like a double strike 3/3 that draws you a card, that's not bad, dude. The same thing with the Steel Seraph, just a 5/4 flyer that has that bottom ability is kind of insane. So yeah, using like the Planar Incision on this is definitely worth it. Also, it gets that counter as well. And remember I mentioned how the counters on the incubators and stuff, and I guess the counters from the Incision will come in handy. Well, that's because our top end is a Sanctuary Warden. So it's a 6 mana 5/5 with flying. When it enters the battlefield, it has 2 shield counters on it. And then when it enters the battlefield or attacks, you can remove a counter from a creature or planeswalker you control. If you do, draw a card and create a 1/1 green-white citizen creature token. So more tokens for the Mondrak as well. A whole bunch of stuff just packed in, man. So we can, if we have a powered up incubator, then we can remove a counter from that, or we can remove the shield counters on the Warden. But shield counters are pretty important, man. They're pretty powerful. So even though there is a lot of exile removal, doing something crazy like, yeah, Dollhouse of Horrors. When our cards do die, Dollhouse of Horrors is pretty nasty, dude. And hopefully we're not paying the full 5 for this and we're actually ramping with the Thran Spider into the Dollhouse of Horrors, right? That way we can activate it on the same turn. Because yeah, doing things like grabbing these powerful ETB creatures back from the grave is kind of insane to think about. And then they become an artifact too, so that really works with the Sentry. So many synergies, guys. We have a lot of dual land that I thought about. If you guys ever want me to go over the dual land a little more than I do, let me know in the comments for sure. But yeah, I thought about the dual land for a while. I don't think it's going to hold us up. Also have a Mirrex, another way to generate artifact creature tokens. We're leaning a little bit towards the white because that's what the deck's leaning towards. Of course, utility land between Seat of the Empire, Soaring City, Crucible of Defiance. Honorable mentions, guys. Spirited Companion, we thought about for quite some time. Touch of the Spirit Realm could be a cool one. Elish Norn could be neat in this one. Mightstone Weakstone didn't make the cut this time. And Eternal Wanderer could be a very powerful top end. Okay, I think I went over the deck well enough, but you know what? If I didn't, let me know in the comments for sure. I'll try to do better next time. This was a tough one though, for sure, that we got so much in here that we don't see too often and just so much to talk about. Either way, enough rambling. Let's go ahead, take it into some ranked and see how we do. All right, guys, we'll see if we can get right into that first game here. So, what am I expecting from the build? I mean, obviously, we got to expect jank. But as far as like mid-range fun decks go, mid-range combo, realistically. Oh, first we need to see the mana, though. That's pretty bad. Yeah, no, this is a mulligan. Yep. Oh, much better. I mean, yeah. Just seeing land and a couple things we can play, much better. We'll ditch a... Do we want to turn 1 Skrelv? Or do we just play like a Deserted Beach turn 2 Skrelv, since we don't have a guaranteed turn 2? So we'll ditch 1 Deserted Beach, that's fine. This is fine. And without a guaranteed turn 2... Yeah, we're gonna go turn 1 Skrelv then. Sometimes that decision really matters, because if we see like a 2-drop, luckily we did not this time round. Death Touch Toxic, huh? Well, we can't block with Skrelv, and it's not a bad trade if they do decide to trade here, so I'd say that's not a bad trade, right? We don't have anything fancy to protect with the Skrelv right now anyways. And yeah, like I said, Skrelv can't block, so... Scoured Barrens. Mirrex, nice. We got the Mirrex back from our first hand. Hopefully that Power Stone doesn't help the opponent out too much, huh? This is a lot of top end. Definitely wouldn't mind seeing one of our 4 drops next turn. Or like, I mean, it depends. It depends what the opponent ends up playing here. Thran Spider is one of those cards that's just like really solid against mono red too. Like a 2/4 that blocks in the air as well. Happens to be decent. Okay, Skrelv is on this board and they get a Siphoner down as well. Looks like we'll have the mana available for the Nahiri's Resolve when it comes time. But that's not... Oh! Guys, I wanted to play the Mirrex there. Why did I do that? Luckily the Thran Spider can block in the air. Yeah, no, we wanted to get the Mirrex down so that way we could activate it. Oh, Vraska's Fall. Uh-oh. We're taking a big hit here. And Nahiri's Resolve isn't doing anything now that they got rid of the Thran Spider. That's a good one when usually in a deck like that, Thran Spider's pretty hard to remove because Go for the Throat is their main piece of spot removal. But no, Vraska's Fall makes a lot of sense for Orzhov Toxic. And see, we could have generated a token last turn. That's my bad if we end up losing. Because, what am I doing? Let's get that Mirrex down. Because we don't need the mana fixing off of this. And now we have the mana in hand for the Sanctuary Warden, so... I hope it's not going to be like Liliana +1 or something for the turn. Yeah, we're in trouble, dude. We're going way too slow for this deck. Skrelv's Hive, okay. They also could power up Foundry if they want to just get extra damage through. But honestly, they might as well. Because all of their mana is colorless now that they played the Skrelv's Hive. Go for extra. Hexproof from red gives lifelink, I guess. Wait, why did I think they were going to be able to proliferate on this? Apparently, I haven't played Magic the Gathering before, guys. Alright, Sanctuary Warden, you're probably going to have to stay out to block, buddy. Hopefully they don't just... Yeah, we should just activate this, because another Vraska's Fall could just be chilling in their hand. Speaking of which, be able to block on the ground. They still have the Skrelv. They could call white in the sky to get the Siphoner through. Maybe we can outpace them. Maybe. Let's give it a shot, man. Plus, we're restocking our hand here. Seachrome Coast. And, yeah, since they can still get that Siphoner through... Look at our top end being just, like, incredible, man. Getting the Mondrak down before we get more tokens, too. We'll probably go for the full swing next turn. Duelist blocks on the ground, so maybe playing everything. Oh, yeah. Steel Seraph can use the Power Stone token, so we don't need the coast to come out untapped. They call white here. They're at 7. That's super sketchy. Because they know that we're getting a hasty Sanctuary Warden in the air. Back up to 8. And they can't block with the Phyrexian Mite either. Dude, Nahiri's Resolve just being absolutely disgusting. Holy cow. We'll get that draw. Thran Spider, look at this, dude. Wow, and we got an untapped source too. So we can go Battlefield Forge. A good old-fashioned hasty Mondrak. And then we go... I used my white sources. Well, I guess we go Thran Spider instead. I was gonna go Steel Seraph, but we're wide enough here, and they only have colorless mana, so we just full swing. Which is pretty incredible, man. Hey, there's our Sentry. Man, that could have been good. There's double tokens from the Mondrak. GG opponent. Nahiri's Resolve just... Wow. I thought we were going too slow, guys, but that just popped off way too well with that Sanctuary Warden. I mean, first thing we got to consider is a second Warden at that point, right? But it could really... What's the word I'm looking for? I like gum up your hand. So... Probably just the one of, but wow, was it an MVP in that match, huh? That was a good first one, man. That was awesome. Let's keep going. And if we were up against like mono red or a faster deck, right? Then it's the same concept. That Thran Spider really can hold down the fort, man. That's why I always recommend for mono red and mono red players, you know, doing 5 damage to something with one of those 3 mana cards is very important. Wow, these opening hands have been really bad though. Opponent goes first too. You know what? Let's try it. We're fine. We're fine, dude. The mana base is actually pretty insane. So like I think, and now we won't take damage from the Inquisitor because we got a Plains, which is fine. We don't need the Incision right away either, so go for that swing. This is one of those decks that main piece of removal is gonna be like go for the throat again, right? But also Golgari could run cards like Terra Sunder, which would be really good for them. Mirrex could be a blue source when we need it. I should hold that back for now. Probably Thran Spider, then Mondrak next turn. This is a problem. Lisa's really good. It's probably getting through. Hits enchantments though, not artifacts, which is good. This Power Stone can help us power up the Incubator when it comes time. No swinging into that. Invasion of Zendikar, okay. Golgari, good stuff? Maybe. It's most likely like, okay, yeah, no red source, so Golgari mid-range, I guess. Pretty cool. Swinging at the invasion. Do we chump? We probably chump. I didn't really want to lose my Thran Spider, but I think it's a chump. Not my Thran Spider, my Rabbit Battery. I apologize, guys. I guess it's one of those days, huh? Mirrex comes down. 1 mana away from the Elesh Norn. The Planar Incision, if we want to activate that on the Norn's Inquisitor. And then we'll have 2 available to power up one of them, but that's it, right? So without that blue source, I think we're still fine for now. Mondrak comes down, and we do have the ability open if we want to give it indestructible and then get rid of these 2. We could do it on our turn, so that way they can't just... See, that's the problem. If it is a Terra Sunder style, then that would be really bad. I'm just swinging. If it's a Terra Sunder style deck, then that's still exiles. So if they want to swing at that, so they go for the throat. Do you guys think they can double down on this? What do you guys suppose? I say we risk it, man. Let's do this. We could get rid of the... Let's go with Norn's Inquisitor and the Power Stone. What do you guys feel about that? Keep the Thran Spider for now. All we lost then, realistically, is the Norn's Inquisitor. I guess the Power Stone. They do double down on the Mondrak. Okay, that's not bad for us. 2 go for the throats out of the deck means that Elesh Norn... Yeah, that's not bad. I say that was worth the risk, because if we were able to get the indestructible on this, then that's a great way to deal with Glisa, so that way they can't swing in with it for a little while. Mana off the top would be great. Blue source off the top would be great. So far, it still kind of sort of looks like a keepable hand. This Glisa, however we pronounce that, is just really holding down the fort. And no blue source, but Elesh Norn, huh? And since they're 2 go for the throats down, we might actually be safe enough. Get double Power Stones off this Thran if the Elesh Norn sticks around for a while. Lisa's still getting through no problems, but... Oh, and then they can remove the 2 counters on the Incubator token. So we should have gotten rid of the token over the Power Stone, right? Nissa. Oh my. Are they gonna go -7 here, just full swing? No, they go for an 8/8. They could have given both of these +5. We would have been forced to block. So we could jump. We could. Worth it? Not worth it? I think we're like... No blocks this time. I think we're super dead. Because they have the -7 on Nissa next turn, which means this will gain trample too. No great ways to actually swing at the Nissa either, so... I don't know. I don't know if I could have done anything better there. Oh! Steel Seraph. Now that's a card. Because that could have Elesh Norn swinging in at the Nissa. And if I would have gotten rid of the Incubator over the Power Stone, I could have also played Thran Spider for the turn. So we go flying on Elesh Norn, swing at the Nissa, so that way they can't -7 for next turn. We have a chump blocker for their 8/8, unless they play like the second Nissa. And we also have the Incubator to power up too. Let's not forget about that. Sev Reach, no, Vigilance, Haste, First Strike, Death Touch. Yeah, dude, just like Golgari mid-range. Looks cool. Elesh Norn. We're playing this entire game without a blue source, man. Mirrex acted as a blue source for the turn, but there was no real good thing to do that turn, so... Waiting on the opponent here. Here we go. Flying. And yeah, we got to stop that -7. Even though they're at 12, yeah, the -7 would just kill us next turn, because all those would get +5. That's 15 extra damage and trample at that. And so if we like full block, we'd lose everything. So that's almost gone. We have the Incubator open. Good flying damage. If we could just figure out a way to end this before they end this. Destroy target artifact. Aw. That makes me a little sad, actually. This is great, dude. What a great planeswalker. Stomper. Yee. Hey! Elesh Norn actually coming into play. It's still a Vigilance 4/4 though, so for 3 mana. Swing with the one card that can do a thing. Power up the Incubator, and since they can remove the counters, we might as well chump, right? It's better than them, like... Because they could also draw, lose a life too, so... It's a pain in the butt, dude. And it would kill both of these if we double blocked, right? So we shouldn't, right? That's how that would work, since the first strike would hit them both before either of them get any damage through. I don't want to lose the Elesh Norn either, so... Yeah, because they could select the 2/2 first, and then do the 1 damage to the Thran Spider, and kill it that way. That Glisa is holding up this entire game, man. We need a way around that immediately. Another Steel Seraph off the top would be excellent to take out that Nissa before it gets out of hand. Because they can keep generating tokens now every turn, which is going to be a little bit too much for this deck to deal with, I would say. I don't exactly know what we need to see, but we need to see something. A Dollhouse of Horrors isn't enough either because it's 5 mana. There's our blue source though, that's good, I guess. Now we can use the Planar Incision on their turn to stop the swing from the Sunslayer. And now if we see like a Dollhouse of Horrors off the top, that would be pretty insane. Because we'll have the Power Stones to cast it, and then use the ability to bring the Steel Seraph out, and then give flying to the Elesh Norn. So we'll block, and then Planar Incision to save the Thran Spider and get more Power Stone tokens. That's pretty cool. We're just not doing enough, I would say. Like, we got pretty cool things, but this 8/8 over here, even if they didn't have it, they'd have the double block with the Stomper and the Skyclave. Reach the multiverse. Oh, we are super dead, dude. Holy cow. Holy cow, dude. Oh no, was that on top? No, the deserted beach was on top because the Steel Seraph was, wait, right? Yes, but that was so close. No. Aw, man. Shieldred, nice. Mondrak. Mondrak and Shieldred is what they hit with that. Very cool opponent, very cool. It's theirs for sure, dude. We'll let them play this out though, because they have a insane full swing next turn, which looks really fun. In the meantime, we'll make sure to use our Planar Incision. Yeah, they could successfully swing with the 8/8 as well. So how we're doing this is I'll chump the 8/8 for the turn, and then we'll use the Planar Incision on, I guess, either one, right? Probably the one that's using that's blocking the Sunslayer. Totally fine. Couple more Power Stone tokens. It's given the opponent some Power Stone tokens too, but still, it's fine. That's funny. Dude, that breached the multiverse play. Oh, Awaken the Woods in here too. Very cool deck, opponent. Very cool. Oh, they get double because they took our Mondrak too, so they get 4 Power Stone tokens. That's really funny, dude. Yeah, but look at this crazy full swing from them next turn. Wow, Nahiri's Resolve. Wow. I mean, if we saw things in just a little bit of a different order, this could have been insane, huh? Activate the Thran Spider ability. Oh, nothing. That's fine, that's fine. It's not like the Nahiri's Resolve was gonna save us from next turn swing anyways, so. Oh, guys, this is a great time to mention. Always feel free to skip ahead in the video. I always have timestamps down in the description, as well as just at the bottom of the video, there's chapters if you mouse over. You can always see where the next games are and whatnot in every video. So always feel free to skip ahead. I usually like to let the opponents play it out. Get the +1, which is double the Phyrexian Horrors because they have the Mondrak. The Terra Sunder! I knew it was in there somewhere, huh? A good game, opponent. Very good game. Give me my sunglasses, because that's a very cool deck. We'll block the Stomper. That's funny, dude. They get the ability from the Sunslayer. Remove 3 counters from a permanent. There you go. And then the Stomper actually kills it too. That Sunslayer was an absolute menace this whole game. Honestly though, the Nissa being able to take out artifacts too, that was really bad. And against this deck, like the Resolve earlier, like we would have really had to protect the Resolve from the Sunslayer ability, and then they also had the Terra Sunder. We don't know when they ended up drawing that, but still. Very cool deck, opponent. I'm having a good time with this build so far. I usually do in like combo heavy mid-range. I say usually because sometimes the decks just don't do the thing that they're supposed to do. But right now, we're kind of sort of doing it. We also could have mulliganed that game too. I kind of kept a relatively risky hand. Okie dokies. I'd say this is great for going first. Right? You know what? I'll even just play the Exarch as a 1 mana card. We also could have done Rabbit Battery for the turn too. But getting that down with the Norn's Inquisitor. They dropped the oops. That's funny, opponent. Alright. We'll go Norn's Inquisitor and then activate the Exarch ability to get a 3/3. Pretty good turn too, guys. Then we have the... I should have played the Coast, actually. Because there's a chance, yeah, that we drew like a 3rd one for that turn too. But yeah. Malcator's good. We could also go Planar Incision on the Inquisitor and activate the ability again. And then swing with Rabbit Battery as well. No, no, no. We're gonna full swing. And then get the Malcator down, because they're still a couple turns away from a board wipe. If we go wide enough here, I think we have a good chance. This is a lot of damage on this board state, man. Stomper can't block. So how do we want to do this? Because we'll have the 4th mana. We could go Incision on the Inquisitor. Oh, wow. Sentry's decent. What's the maximum amount of damage possible for the turn? I guess it's going to be Rabbit Battery. Then on the... Is that the same amount? Because we'd be swinging with the Exarch and the Inquisitor for 2. I don't think so, because this is 3. Attach the Rabbit Battery. I don't know. I don't know if that's the same amount of damage. I'd have to think about that. Down to 4. Let's see. Let's see that board wipe opponent. The big thing here is now we have the Rabbit Battery. If we see mana off the top, we still have a swing with the Cephalopod. Oh, except it's going to lose a lot of its power if the board does get wiped here. So I think we got 1 more damage by doing that play that way. I think we got 1 more damage. Other words, it would have just been a swing for Norn's Inquisitor, swing with Exarch for 2, and swing for Battery for 3. But doing it that way, we attached Battery to that and swung for 4 instead. Oh, back up to 6. That's not good news. To go mana, give haste to the Cephalopod Sentry, and then full swing. They're at 6. They're going to gain 3 from that. We could full swing, then go Seat of the Empire on this, which is essentially the same thing depending on where they block, which is right here, huh? So if we go like this, reconfigure onto like Malcator, right? Then we full swing. They block 1 of the 3/3s, and we prevent the life gain with the Seat of the Empire. That's insane, dude. What a just like, what do I even call it? What a blitz, right? I guess they're thinking, what do we have left in hand? Because maybe, I mean, they can't block with Stomper, so the block is definitely on one of the 3/3s. Then they think they go back up to 9. And then take... Wait, 9. Wait. I gotta count this board state, man. We have 12 damage on the board. We don't even need the Seat of the Empire. Yeah, nice. So by reconfiguring the Rabbit Battery, it was enough. Because if they would have been able to block the 4, opponent has left the building, guys. But we're gonna give them the benefit of the doubt here, and they might have froze. You never know. You really don't. So, another good time to remind everybody. Always feel free to skip ahead to the next game. Although we are getting pretty close to the end of the video, so we might just end up going over the deck again. But I kind of want to squeeze one more game in. I just, oh. It's just going on through, huh? Well then. I'll take it. Either way, it was going to be a victory. Very nice, dude. Wow. How fun is that, man? That's really fun is what that is. So far, you guys have been absolutely nailing the patron suggestions. These have been a blast. Alright, we're going to try to get one more game in. If it goes too long, we'll just give it to the opponent. It's no big deal, especially if it's leaning towards them, right? Okay, no blue source again. Wow. Is this a decent hand to try, though? You know what? I will try this. We have a turn 2 Inquisitor into a turn 3 Inquisitor. And so that gives us a few turns to find a blue source. We have plenty of blue sources packed in. Dollhouse of Horrors, okay. Like I said, we still have a turn 3 Inquisitor too. It's a risky hand for sure, like, or one I should call, it's probably just a mulligan. But since we're doing so well, I don't mind this at all. So it's not a blue source, but maybe we'll need to talk more about more blue sources in the final thoughts, since this is the second game doing that, right? So unfortunately, we got to let this swing through. But now that we doubled down on Inquisitor, as long as we get to keep one of them. Yes, okay. Oh, this is a big swing though for them. Yeah, no blocks. Keeping both of these means if we see mana off the top, we'll have a couple 4/4s. Eee. Not great. Thran Spider blocks really well, but it probably gets picked up by a Brutal Cathar. If we just activate this and then keep the Skrelv open, it could be fine. That way we can at least... We'll have a 4/4. And then we'll have Skrelv without taking damage, which is important. And then Skrelv can prevent like a Brutal Cathar from happening. No attacks. Some Selesnya humans, very scary, dude. Selesnya humans can be absolutely incredible. Cathar, yep. I think they want to hit Skrelv then. Should we at the very least activate the ability, since we can, since they're targeting this, right? And I guess we'll just give it to you. Why not? It's only gonna affect the targets. It doesn't give like indestructible or anything, but wow, they don't swing into the 4/4. Oh, blue source. Overseer isn't bad. Unfortunately, I'd rather get the 4/4, right? No, I guess I'll go Overseer. The 3/3 is pretty good too. It's like awkwardly keep a red source open, I guess. See, Thran Spider gets us one step closer to the Dollhouse, but this is fine. Brutal Cathar, number 2. Take out the 4/4 and full swing. Actually, they don't want a full swing because we have a 3/3 to block the Brutal. That goes up to... No, it doesn't. We'll trade. Gladly take that trade, take the first strike damage from the Thalia. We're held up here a little bit. Mana would be great, but yeah, no mana. I'm very tempted by the Incubator, but I think since Thran Spider blocks so well, and it gets us one step closer to the Dollhouse, now if we see mana, Dollhouse could come down. But the Thalia being such a pain in the butt, man. This is a good example of a turn where if we had Rabbit Battery in hand, we could have played that and got another 3/3 from the Purity Overseer, because Thran Spider's the 2 artifacts. It's so cool, man. Okay, second Vanguard. Not great news. Skrelv, okay. How are we gonna do this, man? Should we chump? Chump with Overseer? Cathar? I'm okay with that trade. How you guys feeling about that? Get a human off this board is not a bad trade. A 3-drop for a 3-drop. We have Dollhouse open, but now we go Overseer and Thran Spider. Blockers for days, dude. Oh, the Skrelv's gonna be a problem though, isn't it? Yeah, no attack. Another 3/3 because we actually had 3 artifacts enter. The Thalia's been holding us up a lot too, but next turn we can play Dollhouse and grab one of these from the grave. It's not the greatest since we don't have too much in here, but we could at least grab the Thran Spider. Get more Power Stone tokens and then use those for the Incubator too. Yeah, getting the Thalia through. Actually, we're just on a time limit because of Skrelv, huh? Oh, we can block with the Thran Spider, though. Actually, Toxic 1, Ward 1, ×2, Hexproof from white. Double block with our 3/3s, right? Should do it. And then the 3/3 takes it out. Very nice. Thalia's off this board state, man. How on earth do I want to do this? Deserted Beach. Dollhouse of Horrors. Activate the Dollhouse. Thran Spider, right? It's a 1/1, we get that. That's 3 artifacts, we'll get another 3/3. We can power up. I'll do this on our turn so they don't have spot removal for an Inquisitor if we power it up on their turn. That goes up to a 4/4. This is insane, dude. What on earth? We need a way through. They don't have first strike now, and the Skrelv is putting a problem. Well, we have enough artifact tokens. I guess no attacks. I guess. Maybe we could have swung with this 3/3. I don't know. They have the lifelink on Adversary soon, too. Valorous Stance. Nice. That gets rid of the 4/4, which is bad news. We got a draw. Combat Thresher. Woo! 3/3 double strike isn't bad. I wonder what we draw into. I wonder if we just see what they do with the swing and then go for the draw and then go for... Yeah, I think that's fine. We might have a chance here, guys. We really, really might. They don't know what's in hand. They don't have first strike on the board. They have 1 mana open. They probably take this 6 down to 8. And then the 3/3 double strike lands. Oh, they are going to trade out the Adversary. Wow! A protection for one of them then, I'm assuming. No? Let's have the Thran Spider ability open, but Combat Thresher is much better. Back up to 17. Yeah, we're just full casting this, dude. See what we draw. And I guess we'll grab the Overseer. That could be good. I'll keep that in hand. I guess we'll grab this and keep the construct version of the Overseer, right? I think that's fine. So we keep you. We generate a 3/3. This is awesome, dude. This is awesome. Holy cow, man. I can't even. Okay, Sigarda, nice. Very nice. They pass it right back to us. Oh, the Exarch could be good. What else do we have here? We have the Purity Overseer if we want to do that again. Could start with a swing. This gives the thing haste. But since we only have the 1 card, they have a 4/4. That could be a great blocker for them. So we'll go you. Sure. Block in the air. We have chump blockers on the ground. We're going for it, man. Let's see where they block. Because we're about to restock this board, so it's worth the risk. Like, Dollhouse is going to bring the Malcator back from the grave, give us another 3/3. Then Exarch's going to come down for at least X's 2. Taking a lot of damage here. Trading some stuff out as well. Actually, both of their Vanguards being traded out. And then the Thresher hits again. Wow, dude. Holy cow, man. This is crazy, dude. I wonder if they'll be able to get enough damage through with the Sigarda in the air. I'm doubtful because, so if we go X is 2, still have 1 for the seat. No, we'll have 3 for the seat because of the Power Stones. So there we go. If we only had 1 for the seat, we only have 1 legendary, so we can actually power these up too if we need more. on their turn. I think the Seat of the Empire is enough just to be enough. And then the Malcator. Dude, what a great last match. The deck is just absolutely popping off. The Living Cure, nice. So if they don't end up swinging, we'll power up Incubators. If they end up swinging, we use Seat of the Empire and do our best blocks. How cool is this, guys? What a fun deck. Valorous Stance on the Thran Spider. So that gets rid of the blocker. Yeah, GG. GG, opponent. Dude, I'm so satisfied right now. Oh, man. All right. Dude, I literally, I'm taken aback. I can't ask for more. I think we actually had a positive win rate today, too, which just hasn't happened in a very long time. You guys know it's been an uphill battle, so let's go over the deck again. ETB artifacts. Here's the deck list again, guys. We'll do some rearranging. Thresher, we're realistically looking at these as 3 drops in the Steel Seraph too. Very fun, very cool. Holy cow, I'd play it again for sure. The mana base seemed fine. It looks like we were getting a little unlucky not seeing the blue sources. I mean, we eventually saw them, don't get me wrong, but there's all of the land that have blue sources in it. Yep, everything seemed fine. I don't know what I would add or take out since we actually had a positive win rate today. It doesn't seem necessary. I guess we'd just say more testing required to see what we want to drop. With the blinking effects and everything, I could see like Planar Incision going down to 2 and maybe opting for more removal. At 25 land though, more 3-drops might not be the correct choice. So going for the 3-drop that exiles or can act as a blink might not be the best choice, but it could be a pretty good one. I would have liked to see Sentry do more today, but we did have it in hand a few times where we were like, oh yeah, and this flying could help us win. But then we ended up winning by other means. Didn't get to see Saheeli. I still think it would be fine in here. So many little synergies. The Dollhouse of Horrors was absolutely epic, dude. How cool was that, huh? Nahiri's Resolve was an MVP, especially in that one game where the haste just was crazy with the Sanctuary Warden popping off, restocking our hand. Elish Norn was fine against that Golgari match, but they completely overran us, unfortunately. Didn't get to see Eater of Virtue. It's probably a little bit of a niche pick, but I like it. I don't think I would change too much here, guys. Worst comes to worst, if you don't like the Eater of Virtue, you could go up that second Skrelv, like I was saying before. There's plenty of stuff in here that we don't mind protecting. The Purity Overseer did a thing, bro. Holy cow. And that bottom ability was being activated often to get those extra golems. So Thran Spider was great. Just very fun. Of course, the Incubators. Every time I've played with Incubators, I brought this up about just how powerful these Incubators actually seem to be. And like the way you can have them sit on your side, and then if the opponent like wipes the board or something, then you power up the Incubators. Just keep your eye on these. I know there's only there's a finite amount of them, and there's probably no more incubation tokens to be released in standard in the future, but still keep your eye out, man, because every time I play with them, they are terrific, especially this Norn's Inquisitor card. And the Progenitor Exarch is really good too. I like this one, man. But at this point, I sound like a broken record, huh? If you made it this far into the video, definitely let me know what you thought of the build, but also, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.